All right, Browns fans, Browns Nation, Dog Pound, whatever you want to call it. Hey, if you're new to the channel, this is Sports Talk Extra. We love teams that the national media loves to ignore. Cleveland Browns, we love you. We're Detroit Lions fans. You are our brother in the AFC. And hey, if the playoffs started today, you'd be in it. And with losing Jack Conklin, with losing Nick Chubb for the season, and having a quarterback miss pretty much half your games, I'd say that's pretty amazing. I'd say that's pretty impressive. And the Browns actually got some good, but not great, some okay news on Monday. And that was that Jedrick Wills, the offensive lineman that got hurt in the last game. We thought he'd be out for the year. It looks like he will return this year. He will return this season, and but he will be put on the IR and miss at least 4 games. So, in response to that, in response to knowing that you have a starting tackle that is going to be out for at least a month, the Cleveland Browns have gone out and decided to pick up a offensive lineman in free agency, actually off of your practice squad, and that is Jiren Christian. All right, so here you see him. The last time we saw him was actually this year. It was actually this year for the Houston Texans. He played a total of 33 snaps, not a ton. So in this video, I want to talk to you about exactly what you're getting in this player, because I'm telling you, I think he can absolutely be a serviceable tackle for you. Left tackle, believe it or not. I think he might actually play. And so I'm going to tell you who he is. I'm going to give you kind of his career arc, what the expectation would be of him going forward. We'll give you some PFF stats and all that kind of stuff. But before I do that, make sure you like and subscribe to this video and let me know if you think this is a guy that for a month can see the quotes, adequately play a tackle position for you. I'm not saying he's going to be a Pro Bowler. I'm not saying anything like that, but hear what I have to say, and let's see if he can be an adequate player for you. Jiren Christian has not played a ton in the last 2 years in the NFL. He played quite a bit. Last time we saw him, he played 588 snaps. The last time we saw him play a significant amount of snaps, and that was in 2021. So at least you're post-COVID here. At least you're within the last 2 years. He was originally a 3rd-round draft pick, and he is coming out of Louisville. All right, Louisville, and he was drafted in the 3rd round by the Washington Commanders. So if you look at his career arc, he was drafted by Washington. He didn't play much his rookie year, but he actually played pretty well. And then he played in 2019. He was just sparing in his second year. And then he played almost 400 snaps, 398 snaps, recording a PFF grade of 62.3. I thought that was honestly not terrible. And then the following year, he moved over to Houston, where he played almost 600 snaps. He was their starter for the majority of the year. And here's what I thought was the most interesting. His run block grade was terrible that year, an all-time low for him. His run block grade usually went anywhere in the high 50s, and it was a 39.6. But his pass blocking grade was 78.8. Okay, 78.8. And that is on 600 snaps. That is not a small sample size. All right. His overall offensive grade is about a 62 for all the snaps that he's played in his career. That, ladies and gentlemen, isn't bad. So when you put that in comparison to what the Browns have right now, you have DeJuan Jones, who's going to start probably at your right tackle spot. He has been, right? This is a guy that is young. We know he was a 4th-round pick this year, and he's honestly playing at a rate that I would say is a little bit better than we expected for a 4th-round selection, because he's been thrust into the fire. Thank you, Jack Conklin. So he's been thrust into the fire, and that's okay. But right now on the other side, you have James Hudson. He was drafted out of Cincinnati, 4th-round pick. I'm not positive on this, but I'm pretty sure he was a transfer that was started at U of M, went to Cincinnati, and now he is playing for the Browns. So he's not playing well. He's had 77 snaps so far this year. His PFF grade is a 46.6. That is not startable. I think that Jiren Christian immediately signals an upgrade over this. It's an immediate upgrade. So I'm going to go over to the other side of what you're playing against. All right. We know that Jiren Christian is not like this great tackle. He's going to rank right now. His PFF grade is going to rank somewhere in the bottom third or fourth of starting tackles, but it is a starting tackle grade. If you look over at the Baltimore Ravens right now, who you're going against, they have Ronnie Stanley, who is an experienced tackle, and he's got a PFF grade of 67. All right, 67 with a pass block grade of 71. And then you go to the other side and you have Patrick McCarry, who has a pass block grade of 61 and an overall grade of 68 and a run block grade of 68. So you look just over to the other side, the nemesis, the arch rival, the Ravens, and you're like, oh, they're actually not that much better off than we are at the tackle spot. They are, but you guys with Bitonio, Pocic, and Teller have a great interior offensive line. So here's why I think this works. No matter who the running back is, and seemingly no matter who the offensive line is, with Stefanski there, the Cleveland Browns have ran the ball well. All right. Whether it's Chubb, whether it's Hunt, now it's Ford, right? It seems like you're running the ball well. It seems like a system where you just run it well, similar to the Denver Broncos under Shanahan or the 49ers under Shanahan. It feels like you have that type of a running game system that works for you. So if you have a solid interior offensive line with good run blockers, and you have tackles that can just be adequate pass blockers, I think you can both run and pass the ball effectively, and your offensive line can hold up. Is it ideal? Absolutely not. No, it is not ideal, but it's the middle of the season. Every team is banged up. I was thinking actually about the Seattle Seahawks earlier this year. They had both of their tackles out. I remember the Lions went to play the Seahawks and we're like, oh man, we are just going to destroy them. Both their tackles are out. We're going to have a field day, right? We did not. And through that first 4 games of the season, the Seahawks went 3-1 with backup tackles. It is absolutely doable. Offensive tackle is an important position, but if you can get yourself well enough, you have a mobile quarterback, move the pocket, rely on your run game. I'm telling you right now, you are going to have the ability to be all right with this. So hopefully you like the signing. I think it was great. I think this is about as good as you can get as far as picking up a tackle midseason. As good as you can get. All right. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.